President Biden's re-election campaign is enlisting former President Obama and former Speaker Nancy Pelosi to help boost his healthcare record with voters ahead of November. To mark the 14th anniversary of the Affordable Care Act becoming law, Obama and Pelosi will join Biden during a virtual event Saturday to mobilize supporters and volunteers, the campaign announced Wednesday. Saturday's virtual rally will mark the start of events throughout the week across 8 battleground states, including a wave of advertising and social media content. The events show the Biden campaign is enthusiastically jumping into a fight with former President Trump over Obamacare after Trump has floated taking another run at repealing the law. Biden and Democrats have long felt health care is a winning issue for them, and the president has leaned into the pocketbook issue of lowering people's costs amid broad concerns about the economy. Donald Trump already tried to dismantle Obamacare once and throw millions off their health insurance, and he's promising to try once again if he regains power, Biden campaign communications director Michael Tyler said in a statement. President Biden will not let that happen. Under his leadership, insurance premiums and drug costs are lower. The price of insulin is capped, and in a second term, he'd continue to protect and expand the ACA to cover more people and lower costs even more for families. More than 40 million people have health insurance through Obamacare, and the law is more popular than ever. 9 red and purple states have expanded Medicaid since Republicans tried and failed to repeal the law in 2017. When Trump was president, Republicans controlled both chambers of Congress. 3 GOP-led attempts to repeal the law through the courts have also failed, including one backed by then-President Trump in 2020. Since then, GOP members have largely conceded that an Obamacare fight is a losing issue and instead focus on issues like crime, immigration, and the economy. So, I oftentimes will say the Democrats are, just ineffectual. They're really no better than Republicans, and I stand by that in a lot of other topics that we've discussed before. But in general, on social issues, if they have a position that is more befitting of people, regular human beings, or Americans, I should say, then I'm going to acknowledge them as being superior. So, um, it's a fact that when Trump tried to repeal the ACA, it would have led to less people being covered. And that was part of the reason why, in spite of controlling Congress, the Republicans having both the House and Senate in 2017, that bill failed. It didn't go through, it didn't pass. The only thing he was able to do to Obamacare was get rid of the individual mandate when he signed his stupid tax cut in the law, but that was it. The Republican attempts to get rid of Obamacare pretty much crashed and burned, and it was befuddling to me even back then that here we were 7 years into this thing being a law, and they were still trying to mess with it. And now it's been over 10 years, and they're still trying to mess with it, or at the very least are hinting at wanting to do some more things. In the event that they're able to get the White House and possibly the Senate again. So I will concede that on healthcare, I'll take the Democrats any day of the week over the Republicans. Even though, as I said before, this statement by Biden's communications director is kind of making me roll my eyes because when they say, "Oh, we want to expand, we want to cover more people," right? Okay, Biden could always announce that he's in favor of single payer, right? And then healthcare would be a right for each person instead of having these insurance-based systems that are fraudulent. But he doesn't. That apparently that didn't occur to him. Um, the only other thing I'll say is that I find it so. I did this video on Obama and how he's arguably one of the worst ex-presidents ever, just in terms of like a retirement and having almost nothing to do but campaign for people. And I do stand by the video. It hasn't been out for a week yet, so it's still fresh in my mind. But I also said during that video, like, I get where he's popular, people still like him, they still want to see him. Pelosi is despised. Like, I don't know why anyone, and I know the actual reason is that, oh, she was the Speaker of the House when the ACA passed. But this is still a lady that is associated with a lot of the gridlock and incapability of Democrats being able to do anything. And let's not forget, she was in leadership, at the helm of leadership, when the Democrats got blown out in the 2010 midterm. And I would recommend that anyone who's trying to run for office and win, stay away from having her associated with your campaign. She is electoral poison. The only time she's ever been able to be popular is by being put up against the literal least popular president since polling started. But besides that, I just think it's a really big mistake to include her there. I get Obama, but I would keep her out of it. But I mean, I'm working on Saturday, so I'm not gonna watch this anyway. This little virtual fundraiser. It's all just goofy to me.